Hello and welcome to Talking Crass. I'm John and I'm here once again with my co-host, Beat. Beat, you alright?
We're back in the house.
It's been a while.
We're back in the game.
It's
The
been
podcasting world. Thrilling, chilling.
blood spilling.
Very nice.
Yeah. Not really murderers.
Yep.
Beat, why? For what I can only describe, dressed as if you're at the wall
Looking like
in
a nice...
black garb.
Well, the crack is, I haven't done the washing,
Yep.
so I've got no t-shirts.
Mhm.
So I'm just in a pair of PGA shorts,
Mhm.
comfy as you get. And I found a rug behind me settee, so I've just kind of thrown that over my shoulders
It's like
to get into the
it's
Game of Thrones
it's
mindset.
Jon Snow-esque, mate.
I've just gone for it just to get us in the mindset.
I mean, it looks good.
Thank you.
You could fucking rock it, to be fair.
Mainly, I'm warm and comfy.
Yeah, I like it, mate. I like it. Anyway, back to pressing matters.
Yes.
We've had a 2-week break, I think.
2 weeks. I don't know where I'm at.
Oh, mate.
I just feel I've been just chained from the clutches of hell.
We went on holiday, drank a lot, ate a lot. We got back. We drank a lot. We ate a lot.
Well, you drank a lot, didn't
And it's all been a blur. Up until now, where we've come back to
Fresh.
claim our rightful Iron Throne.
The feeling of just walking out of a shower, just fresh as that.
Fresh as a daisy, babe.
Fresh as daisy.
Right.
There's little droplets of water congregating around my arse.
Oh, lovely. Right, Beat. Here's how the format of this episode is going to be.
Bingo.
Since
Changes every week.
Since we've been lazy arses,
Yep.
we've missed the point 5.
Oh no!
So what we're going to do is, we're going to recap Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 5.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about Season 7, Episode 6.
In the same goddamn episode.
In the same episode. They're getting spoiled.
Oh my god.
Because we know everything about Game of Thrones, Beat.
So, we missed 2 weeks of content,
Mm-hmm.
and then we drop a double episode on them.
But it's still going to be in the time of 1 hour.
Sounds perfect.
Hopefully.
Let's get on with it.
So we're going to have to rush. Right, Beat. So, as I was saying, episode's going to go. We did a poll on Twitter
When? 2 months ago?
about a week and a half ago. And the winner of that poll, of who people want to hear more about,
Right.
was Rhaegar Targaryen.
Got ya.
Rhaegar doesn't play a major role on screen in Game of Thrones,
Absolutely.
but he plays a major role off screen, which is coming to the fore in these last few episodes.
Bang on.
So, Beat, what you're going to do is,
Yeah.
you're going to tell me and the audience
Yeah.
a little bit of history about Rhaegar Targaryen and why he's linked to so many people on this show.
Perfect. Well done, John. I like that. So we'll start off. We've got the Mad King. If you don't know who the Mad King is, he's mad. And he was a king.
Do your impression of a Mad King.
Burn them all!
I like it, that's good. That's good.
There you go. So murdered by Jaime Lannister. He had 3 children. First was Rhaegar Targaryen.
Do you know how old he was or not? Roughly.
Well, when he was born, I believe he was a second old. What do you mean by that? What,
Like, what age is he? I'm not like,
what age is he? What age was he when he
else would you
died?
take that question?
Sorry, I thought you were... Oh, how old was he? Just after birth? 10 seconds old? How old was he when he died?
How old was he, yeah?
I'm going to say 20, round about that.
That it?
Yeah, he married early, aye.
Did he?
I mean, that was cultured back in the days of feudal England. Feudal Westeros. Which is based off feudal England.
well, egret.
What I could have done is Googled the information previously to making this podcast and give you a definitive answer to make us look like an established, well-organised sort of business.
Well-oiled machine, Beat.
But-
Well-oiled machine.
But I'm going, because it's more fun, 20-year-old, because I don't know.
So you don't know. Right, you heard it here first, people. Rhaegar was 20-year-old. Move along.
Let's go. So, boom. First child of the Mad King. Second comes Viserys,
Yeah.
who's a total cock.
Crown for a king.
Grand Fork King. And then lastly, Daenerys. So, Rhaegar is the brother of both them characters, who we see in like the first episode of Game of Thrones.
Right.
And of course, Dany. So the way it goes is, in Westeros there's a saying, when a Targaryen is born, you flip a coin
Right.
and it either lands on heads or tails.
Okay. Right, so the flip a coin beat.
So the flip a
Head
coin,
or tails.
this is due to masses of inbreeding.
Mm-hmm.
Targaryens infamously inbred throughout the whole line of them.
Why do they inbreed?
I believe it's to keep magic in the blood, or to keep the blood pure. They're
am I
so
right in saying-
pompous.
yeah.
They're so pompous, and they think they are above every other
Yes.
line of blood. So a dirty fucking king couldn't mix its blood. It's very-
Am I right in saying that Aegon, the Mad King,
yes.
married his two sisters?
It was Aegon the Conqueror.
Or was that the first guy?
Mad King's dad,
Right.
King Aerys,
He married his two sisters.
his father, Aegon the Conqueror, who
Mhm.
started the Targaryen dynasty by getting in Balerion the Black Dread and his two sisters.
Yes.
He married them, correct?
Feel the fire shit.
Feel the fire shit, aye. But he had two sisters who he married and fucked.
Right. Okay. Nice.
So
not nice.
not
but
nice.
In Game of Thrones, that's how it
Interesting.
goes. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Especially when we've got the Jon and Daenerys situation.
Goddamn right it is. So Rhaegar, from what we've gathered through excerpts, is that a word?
Excerpt bead.
Excerpt. Perfect. Anyway, Barristan Selmy speaks to Daenerys, and that's where Daenerys gets more, as well as the audience, get most of our information about Rhaegar. So the information we get was that when he threw the coin, it landed on the good side.
Right.
So apparently he hated fighting
Mhm.
as a child, was much more interested in books.
Rhaegar
So
was.
rather than going to your Master of Arms, imagine a 5-year-old Rhaegar, 6-year-old, 7-year-old Rhaegar, it's all the rage to go and don a bit of armour, get a blunt sword and get training. You'd be slaying them little peasants who don't know how to fight in no time. But Rhaegar, being the kind-hearted little boy he was, he wanted to read.
Right.
So that's where his love was focused.
But he was also an awesome fighter as
He
well.
was a
wasn't
good fighter as well, but he didn't enjoy it.
he? So he just trained for the crack.
He's a good guy.
Right, he's just he's a kind of Han Solo character.
But
I don't know why I said that. I can't.
you're going to find out, we're going to find out, John, what happened. He reads a shit ton of books that no one's read before, and he becomes infatuated with the prophecy of the one that was promised, the prince that was promised, Azor Ahai.
So he read books.
Yes.
Right, so that kind of debunks my theory of me thinking that he might be Azor Ahai
Himself.
himself.
Maybe he is.
And
Maybe
Jon,
he thought that.
and Jon being Lightbringer.
So thinking he was Azor Ahai,
Mhm.
goes, I need to train. Although I don't like violence, I need to become the best warrior I can.
Right,
So that's why he goes and
Thomas,
fights.
if you got me to read a book and think that dude's me, I'm gonna go and train.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
But then he realises it's not him. And he realises maybe he's just a part in the cog, which is the prophecy.
Right, all right.
For those who don't know the prophecy, it is bad guys. The land of always winter. You can guess who they are. The Night's King.
Night's King, White.
When
White
they
Walkers.
come back, in the War for the Dawn, I believe it's called, Azor Ahai, the prince that was promised, will return with Lightbringer and murder them all.
So
And get rid of them and just bring peace.
Lightbringer being a flaming sword.
Yes, it is. Which took 200 days to forge,
Mhm.
I think.
And 3 people dead as well.
Azor Ahai apparently forged it 50 days. He forged Lightbringer.
Mhm.
Did something where it didn't work.
He killed.
Put in water.
He killed.
It
He
snapped.
killed a lion or some shit.
Second time, 50 days. Killed a lion. Snapped. Then he spent 100 days. Stabbed it through the heart of his wife. Took it out. And it was on fire. Gleaming. Fucking ready to trot.
So he's one less wife. He's one great sword.
God damn right. And what would you rather have? Everybody knows a sword.
Of course.
Which is on fire.
Fire sword.
It's also
Over
called...
any family member, anyone close
course.
to you,
I'd
you'd
drop-
rather have a fire sword.
I'd drop your ass for an imaginary sword called Lightbringer. What would the name of the sword be?
I know we're still on Rhaegar here.
Doom Reaper. There you go. And there's my sword name.
I'd call
Reap your goddamn ass.
I'd call mine the ass server. That's kind of gay, but we'll move
Nothing
on
wrong
from
with that.
There's no wrong with no wrong with that whatsoever. Right, I'm gonna high one in B.
Where was I up to?
We're talking about Rhaegar,
Right.
and how he loves the Azor Ahai story,
Right, becomes
which I didn't realise.
his whole fucking life.
So while we're on the topic of that as well, I'll put in.
Yeah.
He's my two Pennyworth.
Get one on you, mate.
Maybe he was Azor Ahai.
Right.
Maybe he had sex with Lyanna
Uh-huh.
and produced Lightbringer, which is Jon Snow.
Right. So we're getting deep and heavy, right? So obviously all these, what's the word for them? Where you foretell something?
Prophecies.
All these prophecies
Far-fetched.
are either literal or metaphorical.
Yeah.
So maybe it was a literal sword. What do you spend 50 days doing? Banging your wife. Right?
Right.
You spent 100 days banging this wife. You drew
Right,
blood.
okay, yes.
Alright? Maybe we'll look at it that way. Maybe it is literal. Who knows?
He drew blood. That's awful.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a prophecy. It's written on a little bit of lambskin.
And that's why we love Game of Thrones.
Bingo. Because it can twist your words.
Back to it then, beat.
Back to it.
So he's been,
Rhaegar.
he's been reading books.
He's eating chicken like you wouldn't believe. He's stacking, banging and clanging muscle onto them bones. Because he needs to shove Lightbringer right up the White Walls Jassies. Doesn't he? So he's becoming a good fighter. And he's like, I need to fulfill the prophecy.
Mate, I'm just sitting back on this one. You keep talking. I'm sitting back and listening.
He finds out, or realises that himself is not Azor Ahai, but maybe he needs to make Azor Ahai. So he needs to find a wife to have this son.
Right.
Right?
But he's already got a wife, hasn't he?
Interestingly, Rhaegar was going to be married to who? Johnny boy. Take a guess?
Ellie Martell.
No, he was married to her.
Right, I'm going to throw it out there and say Daenerys.
Nah. That's a good shout, I like that.
I've got it. Hot pie.
Nah. Wrong again.
He wasn't even born then, was he?
Who knows?
No, he will have been.
What?
Kind of, just.
Just born, maybe? How long ago did that happen?
Brienne of Tarth.
No. Anyway, moving on. Cersei.
Really?
Believe it or not, obviously Tywin wanted to marry into the Targaryen family. What better way than having fucking Rhaegar Goldilocks in your arsenal?
Yeah.
That was going to happen, but you know when Tyrion was born, I believe the Dornish were asked to come over and see the child,
Right.
or something like that. And Jaime was going to be married to Elia, and Rhaegar was going to be married to Cersei. But they took Tyrion as an insult, I believe,
Really?
because he was a grotesque monster in the father's eyes,
They didn't
Tywin's
want-
eyes,
They didn't want any of that shit going on.
and they took it as an offence, I believe.
Right.
So that stopped that from happening. So Rhaegar is married to Elia.
Mhm.
Bish bash boom. There's a tourney thrown,
Yeah.
the tourney of Harrenhal,
Mhm.
thrown at the castle Harrenhal, which is cursed and it's got a load of shit going on. Everybody who has that castle, it just dies. So someone up there as well.
Really?
Yes, weird. The ghosts of Harrenhal are called.
So no one's in that castle, is there, at the minute, are there?
I believed.
It's
I
left
believe
empty,
the story's told by Tywin in a previous season where it's just he's talking to Arya or someone like that, where Lord Harrenhal made this castle ready to withstand any force. It's the best
Yes.
built castle ever, and the dragons came in and burnt them all alive.
Jesus Christ.
So apparently you can still hear the ghosts of Harrenhal haunt the castle.
No one.
No one wants it, but it's an unbelievable
was there not
fortress.
a joke before with who's the dude with Jaime? Bronn.
Yeah.
Was not a joke where Bronn wanted that castle and they were like,
No, you don't want that one.
you don't want that one?
No,
I seem to remember
maybe
something
like
like
that.
I seem to remember Bronn like, oh, I'll have Harrenhal.
Wasn't you're not thinking of High Garden?
No.
Someone else.
Tywin, someone said to him, or Jaime Gans,
Baelish? He gives it to Baelish, does he
you
not?
don't want that.
Does he not give it to Baelish?
I don't know, I can't remember.
I think Baelish gets Harrenhal or Janice Slint or sort of Janice Slint, someone like that.
Right,
Shitty.
okay.
Anyway, it's not important. This is where this tourney's held. I believe it's held because of the birth of Viserys. Viserys is born and this is held.
Unknown, Rhaegar's in it.
So Rhaegar wipes the floor with everyone because he's trained that hard to become Azor Ahai.
Yep.
He's a great fighter anyway. Gifted musically as well. So he's a fucking god.
Loves singing.
Loves singing. Kind-hearted fellow.
As God bless. What's the dude called again? The greatest fighter in Westeros?
Barristan Selmy.
God bless his soul.
God bless his soul, he's still alive in the books. Bring him back.
Really?
Nah, he's alive in the books, but he's fucked in the show.
Yeah,
They just
okay.
wrote him in a hole. Oh, for some reason, I don't know. Anyway, Tony Pound Hall takes place. There's a couple of big swingers there. Obviously, Robert, Ned is there.
Mhm.
Every Stark's there because it's like a big fucking shindig. There's a mysterious knight there who turns up. And for some reason, Lyanna's never at the same place as this knight either. So some quick background on this. You know Howland Reed? House Reed?
Yes, I do.
Good friends with Ned.
He was at the Tower of Joy. He
Yes. Yeah. Reason they're good friends is Lyanna saved them from 3 squires
died. Right.
of one of the people who were fighting in that fight. They've got weird house names, I don't know, I can't remember them. All 3 of them fought in this tourney, and the Knight of the Laughing Tree, which is, remember what we said last episode, the Laughing Tree is the old gods which the Starks inherit.
Yes.
So it makes sense symbolically for her to use that as a crest.
Right, okay.
Wins the tourney, beats people, like beats them 3 kids who beat up Howland Reed. So Reed's kind of becomes friends with the Starks.
Yep.
And it's theorised that Rhaegar found out that Lyanna was that fighter and was impressed with her so much. That's the reason he wanted to make this child with her.
Oh, really?
He thought, that is my wife,
So he blitzes
to make
past.
Lightbringer.
He blitzes past.
His wife Elia.
Elia.
So he wins the tourney in jousting, because obviously it's different fields. Beats Boris and Selmy. Gets the goddamn crown of love and beauty with the blue flowers, which you give to your most beautiful woman at the tourney. He skips past his wife, which everybody thinks he's going to give it to, and hides it on Lyanna's lap.
Right.
Starts their relationship. They nick off together.
So-
starts the war of the usurper.
Right. So is
Sage Bart Bard.
Rhaegar the usurper?
No, Robert's the usurper. Robert usurps the king.
Right. He wants to kill the
Usurps the
king
throne
and take the throne.
because he was betrothed to Lyanna, which was his betrothed wife, was stolen by Rhaegar. In the eyes of Robert, his wife's just been stolen.
Right.
So he starts a war.
He wanted to usurp the king.
Yes.
So Robert, after Rhaegar's ran away with Lyanna,
Yes.
who he was betrothed to,
Yeah.
starts the war. That starts the war.
Yeah, so Ned's father and brother go down to the Red Keep in front of the Mad King and ask for Lyanna, because it's their sister, to be brought back, because Rhaegar's gone missing with her, to consummate the marriage. We'll get onto that later.
Spoilers.
So when Ned's brother and father are down the Red Keep, they get burned alive by the Mad King.
Hi.
That sends Ned mad, obviously. He wants revenge. Ned and Robert team up and usurp the throne, which is held by the Targaryens, which has been a dynasty for fucking centuries, started by Aegon. Obviously, Robert's successful, and in a battle at the Trident, after Rhaegar has mysteriously spent time raping and murdering Lyanna
I
in
was
the
gonna
eyes of
say-
Westeros.
Interesting point.
Yes.
He's apparently took Lyanna against her will
Yes.
and is raping her.
Apparently. That's in the eyes of Westeros. Obviously, we have more info on that, corroborated by various sources stating that how of a charming person Rhaegar was, that's against his character.
An honourable man.
An honourable man, he sings, he makes money with a lute, he likes book rather than fighting.
Man of the people.
He's a man of the people. So, after that, he fights in a battle at the Trident, which is called that because it has like 3 fucking rivers
Yeah.
where they meet. It's all like
You always find that
just
cool.
up the ankles where the water is.
We'll meta tag it because there's a cool picture where there's like
Oh,
Robert
it's
fighting
unbelievable.
Rhaegar
Aye,
at
it
the
is. That's a
Trident.
great photo.
So we'll whack that in on the meta tags. You'll be able to like get a gist of what the fight was like.
And unfortunately, Rhaegar is beaten by Robert because Robert's an absolute man mountain, purely made to fight.
Mhm.
It's like 6 foot odd, built like an absolute animal. Imagine Henry Cavill with a hammer.
Yes.
Simple as that. That's who I'd cast
And
for a young
a
Robert.
massive beard.
Massive beard, just animal.
Just a beast.
And Robert, as soon as he's killing him, Rhaegar utters. So he apparently uttered some mysterious words. People think it's Lyanna, what he said with his
Right.
last dying breath. Obviously,
Which again backs up the he's
again,
in love with her.
well, if you're raping someone, your final words would there be that? You know what I mean? So
Probably.
he's obviously trying to convince Robert that there's something more than himself. Obviously, there's War for the Dawn coming, and you've destroyed everything.
So he dies. Jaime Lannister gets the
Lannister
memo
kills.
and just stabs the king of the back.
Yes.
And the Baratheons join forces with the Lannisters and take the throne.
Bingo. Start season 1.
Cool. Beat on a.
That's the story of Rhaegar. There's much more.
There's much more to it, but no, I mean,
but that's a quick little.
So
little
if anyone,
from what
there's
I
a
know.
few of our friends want us to discuss them
Right.
points, so not even well there, mate.
Cheers, man.
What I will want to say, how keen would you be, Beat,
Yes.
for a prequel story with Rhaegar in? They're very much in the works for a prequel Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Not done by Dan and Dave. When this show's finished.
That's exciting, but what I'd much rather have is. See, people don't like flashbacks, but I'd rather have that as a side plot, so we go back in time whilst during this show.
Right. So
using
season
Bran,
8.
using Bran somehow.
So season 8, you employ someone who.
I'd have another season. I'd rather have another season. Of, why we are ending it in 8, I do not know.
We'll talk about that later on, though.
We will talk about that later on. But for me personally, I'd rather see more of it just worked in the main story.
I'd like to see Rhaegar as a
character. I'd love to see
I
that.
think that would make the show worth watching.
I think we are going to see that sometime. We have to.
They've mentioned that they're going to do a prequel.
Have they?
Before, but they said that none of the existing cast will be in it.
Right.
So that might change things a little bit.
So it might be well before.
It might be. I don't know.
There's loads of cool stories.
But
like
George R. R. Martin set up a
huge
wealth of background.
Yeah,
So-
little like if you googled it, the Blackfire Rebellion is like a whole story
Yeah.
by itself. So there's loads of stuff that can be done.
So anyway, that ends that part.
Brilliant.
And what we'll do is we'll go straight into episode 5 discussion.
Fantastic.
I think everyone's seen episode 5 by now, but if you haven't, spoilers ahead.
Absolutely. Switch off now.
For episode 5 and for episode 6.
Scene hell.
We're back!
Back in the room.
We've just smashed pepperoni pizza in bed.
We had to.
Times are good.
We had to for the realm, mate.
We did it for the realm. We've got the fuel in us. We're ready to go. But we're going straight into episode 5 discussion. I'm going to start it off. The episode opens as episode 4 ended with Bronn saving Jaime
Yes.
into the edge of a lake while a dragon was going to burn him alive.
Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
So I've got written down a point. How did they swim length of the lake in armour? Why did he have his golden hand still as well? Mate, the swim, I'm guessing Bronn drags Jaime as well because he's out cold.
Yes.
In full armour, with a golden hand. Can you explain that, Pete?
Nobody can.
There'll be a few times, right, we love Game of Thrones,
Mm-hmm.
but I think this season more than any, you can pick it apart.
Well, I've got an answer. He's got plot armour, which is light as a feather. Floats right at the top of that goddamn lake. He's not meant to die yet.
I like it.
Is it
Well,
because he's Azor Ahai?
Mate, well... you want to see that golden hand just fall off and just a flame and fire sword come
Bingo.
out?
And then I can complain about it because it's...
Because it's so fan service.
I complain about Game of Thrones anytime it does something I want to happen.
I know, right?
The Game of Thrones is best is when you want something to happen so badly
The crush your
and
balls.
they crush your life away from you.
Jesus.
I've got down Bronn saves Jaime. Is his arc coming to an end?
Bronze or Jamie's?
Ah, very good, John. Very diligent from you.
Bronze.
No, Jamie's. What I'm getting at is the only thing Jaime cares about at the start of this whole shindig
There's a golden hand.
is a golden hand. Is people's opinions of himself.
Right.
So he has a white book. Every member of the Queen's Guard, the White Cloaks, has a white book which catalogues everything they've done, which is brave and honourable.
Right.
Barristan Selmy's is like a goddamn dictionary, right? 'Cause
The Magna Carta beat.
he's been in everything, and he's
Okay.
done everything good. Jaime literally has nothing. In the show, Joffrey berates him for it. He's like,
Right.
"Oh, he's your book. There's nothing in here. You've done nothing. Where's all your achievements there, Jamie?"
What a little cunt.
So he's riddled with that. I need to prove my legacy. Like I
Right.
need to be the best.
And that's kind of the arc he went on.
But he's gone from being the person who wants to do stuff like that to
Running back up Cersei's arse again.
no. What I was going to say is he charged Daenerys down.
Sorry, mate, I'll keep putting in.
No, it's all right. He charged Daenerys down on the back of a horse to end the war.
Which is ridiculous.
So he didn't care about himself at all.
He was going to die.
He was gonna die in his mind purely for Westeros because he saw this bitch burning everyone alive. He saw the soldiers just getting turned to dust.
I like when Bronn goes, what the hell are you doing? Well, he said worse words than that.
Yes.
Which is not why I didn't say them, because we
It's salt
pretty
and
much
Crass.
swear now and again on the
I
podcast.
know.
We try not to. We've got a swear jar.
Do we?
A metaphorical swear jar.
Yeah,
Right.
we do.
I like when Bronn goes, you don't get to die. Only time you get to die is when I kill you.
Very
And I thought it was
good.
brilliant because he needs that goddamn castle and money.
You're right there. I love that. Perfect characterization. Next point. Tarleys are roasted and toasted.
Game over for them, beat.
Simple as that. Just burned out of existence.
What did you think? Right move, wrong move by
I was
Daenerys?
like,
Right move or wrong move?
knee-jerk reaction was, what are they getting rid of all these houses for? They got rid of the Tyrells.
Mhm.
Last episode, you're getting rid of the Tarleys.
Mm.
But then I took a step back and I was like, Sam's alive, Sam's mother is alive, and Sam's sister is alive, as far as I know.
And you can kind of, she looks like a dickhead, and they were saying that, like, what the hell, what you doing? You shouldn't do that. You should put people in a cage, lock them up. They'll be able to prove themselves.
Yes.
And then she was like, no, because I'm against slavery and I'm against putting people in cages.
Yes.
So you're either for us or you die.
Which is fair.
Which I thought was like, she's evil. But then
It's coming across that way, aye.
Well, they would start this season to episode 5. They've made her look evil, and I think people weren't liking it.
Dance the line.
But all that was just a bit of, you know.
You have to remember,
Let's just make it ambiguous of where she's gonna
I
go.
think that is, from my perspective, that's her enemies. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They're not her friends. And he had the opportunity to get himself in chains. Simple as that.
Honour, mate. As much as a dick he was, he's honourable.
Pride.
Honour.
Nah, fuck that. Enemies, burn them. I agree with her.
Burn them all.
I'm
But
right
you
where.
sound like a Mad King over there. Let's
What?
move
I
on.
didn't say anything to do with that. Jamie got back to King's Landing the second scene after seeing him escape the river.
B, what we'll do is, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we'll mark that down as 1.
This is the first point.
When we've
We're
got
on
through when we've got the back end of these 2 episode discussion, then we're going to talk about general points
You're goddamn right. we
of
are.
the season so far, and especially these 2 episodes.
Yes.
So that's going as chalk 1, miraculous time bending travel.
So we're going to speak about that later. Right, moving on. John's petting zoo.
I've also got B. John touches Drogon. Is this proof he's Targaryen?
Ooh.
Has Tyrion touched a dragon? He has, hasn't he?
No. Oh wait, he took the chains off
Mm.
of Rhaegar and Viserion.
Maybe he got like a little fondle, little feel.
A little bit.
I mean, if you're taking chains off a dragon and it's not going wild, you touch things as a human, don't you?
Yeah.
Smell and then touch. That's just primitive instinct.
Just primitive. You know, if you see like a mushroom on
What's
the ground.
your thing you always say?
Well, I always
Off,
say
off the subject, because right, me and Beat spend a lot of time together. Beat's a massively picky eater. He enjoys his fatty foods.
bingo.
He enjoys some healthy foods.
What? Which healthy foods do I enjoy?
I'll eat anything. Beat has a certain set of food that he likes to eat. I will eat anything. Beat regularly chastises me because of this. How do you see it, Beat?
If it don't smell good, don't eat it.
Why?
Because so we all know how DNA works. Our primal ancestors, the goddamn Cro-Magnon men, the goddamn Neanderthals, they come across a new food they've never eaten before, and they go, smell good, eat. So they eat it because it smells good, and then they come across a steam pile of shit, smell it like, don't smell good, don't eat that. Simple
fair.
as that.
So you say that they wouldn't eat avocado?
That engraved in our DNA,
Why is avocado?
passed on through our ancestors.
Why is avocado so popular?
Avocado.
Now, like, why is it so popular? Because I eat it and I don't like it.
Biggest mystery the world's ever
I don't
seen.
even know why I eat it now.
The Illuminati, the Rockefeller family have an abundance of avocados, so they just sell them to fuel the Nazi gold.
Right, back to Game of Thrones. So Pete, back to it.
Yeah.
Does that prove these Targaryen?
There's no proof there because
Still no proof.
her two dragons had the same reaction with Tyrion. Unless there's verbal
What if Tyrion's
confirmation.
Targaryen?
Ooh, it's a possibility,
It's always a possibility.
but I don't like it. What have I said about that, John? Yoda, steroids. Doesn't work for the character.
Fair.
Got it?
Beat. Goddamn moment returns.
Right.
We'll chalk number 2.
Number
He's got
2.
from the Citadel to Dragonstone.
So I've just got Jorah turns up from, and then in capitals, the Citadel. Right?
I love Jorah Mormon.
So that isn't Dragonstone.
I love him.
That's the Citadel.
Right. We're not going at this point. We're going to wait. We're chalking up. That's number 2.
Number 2. So getting back on point.
Well, let's get back there.
Jorah's back. Hellish. Grayscale's gone. Yeah, fuck that arc.
Is the grayscale gone, babe?
Hopefully.
I hope it is.
I think it's totally done with, yeah. I think they wrote themselves in a little bit of a corner.
What happens if
Didn't know what to do with the character.
and just got rid of it?
Got rid of Grayscale in a single episode.
One episode.
We need him back.
No one for hundreds of years has been cured of grayscale, bar that young lass who's Stannis' daughter,
Correct.
and she got it done because it was in the early stages.
Yes.
Fixed straight away
Boom,
by a guy
fixed.
who reads a book.
The first
He's
time
never
it's been tried is with our character, Sam
It was just-
Wise-Ganji.
read a book and decided to go into surgery.
Get a little scalpel in there.
It's
Doesn't
like-
make
it's like-
sense.
it's like me or you reading a book about a heart operation and going in operating on someone's heart.
Yes, but it's also happened in one episode. And he's back already. Can we just have a bit of time?
Beat Mormont has got what we like to say
I'll let it slide.
plot armor, light as a feather.
Possibly. Next point. Bran sends Raven alerting the White Walker's presence. Next scene, it has already reached the Citadel. In capitals, from Winterfell.
We'll strike that 3.
Right?
3 strikes now, babe.
3 strikes, mate.
I'm gonna say
What are they feeding these goddamn birds out?
no idea. We'll discuss it in general discussion.
Right, alright.
Have I got anything written down here? Oh, I've got written down. Is Varys going to be Dany's downfall?
It's very much leaving that open. Ambiguous, John.
He's skulking about like he normally does.
Little Spider-Man.
It's so like he said he's for the poor people, isn't he?
He's for the region.
Is he good
for
Westeros?
Westeros?
Is he a good character?
I don't know. We've got Melisandre saying prophecies that you will die in this land. He's got.
Is he good? Is he a good character?
Is he a good character?
He was nah. He was
Would
with
you-
the Lannisters.
would you classify
He was with
someone-
he was helping the Lannisters.
Would you classify someone who takes necessary evils, such as killing a child, for the good of a region? No, I think he's a bad person because he does bad things. Even though the four
but
better.
he likes people to think that he's a good person.
I don't know if he wants people to think he's a good
Or
person.
does he not give a shit?
He cares about the trust of who he has.
Tyrion likes him, so I like him. There you go.
Right, I like him.
But I've got a feeling there's gonna be a backstabber in here somewhere.
I like him, but I don't see character-wise. He, at a flip of a coin, probably would murder a child to save Daenerys, so that would be peace.
Right.
He would murder a kid for that, probably.
Move
So,
on.
I mean, that's not good. That's not good character. Oh, I've also put Dragonstone in full caps, so it's reached there as well for Varys to interrupt. Ooh, this is a good one. Jon knows Bran's alive.
Right. This is where they find out, and he's like, he finds this out. He's like, oh my god. Oh yeah, Bran alive. He sent a raven. The Night's King's on the way.
Aye.
Magic raven, flying 100 miles straight away.
Yep.
And he's like, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna go and get a white.
Right.
Is it Tyrion's idea? Or is that his idea?
I think starts with Tyrion. First point, can I just quickly make, John? I've also got below that, Jon knows Arya's alive. So, Because
He was close to Arya,
Oh.
Arya, wasn't he?
we know that he was close to Arya. In the families, there was like little mini relationships. So Sansa and Arya didn't get on at the start. In growing up, Jon and Rob got on really well, like brothers.
Bran and Rob.
Bran and Rob. Bran and Rob? Kinda, aye. I don't know, you don't know much about that. But we know there was a really strong relationship between Jon and Arya.
Give her a needle.
So give her a needle as a little present. And we've realised, we've been waiting as fans for Jon to find out that Arya wasn't killed when Ned was, because she went down to King's Landing. And he just finds out on a piece of paper. And it just annoyed us that you've got that. You can't have that thing where he had with Sansa, you know, where Sansa went to the wall and he met her there and hugged her and it had the Stark fame. It was unreal.
Mate,
He can't have that experience with Arya because he knows he's alive.
I'll let it slide though because he's in a different place.
Yes.
It's how word travels around Westeros, you know what I mean?
I know.
I'll let that slide.
I know.
I know it would be nice.
It's just
scene.
purely
You're
for
gonna
me
get that. You're
personally.
gonna get
I
that,
know
by the way.
it's difficult.
It's
Just
coming, you're going to get that.
purely for me, I've always wanted that moment to happen. But what are you going to do? So, getting back to your main point, is the plan to present a white as evidence to Cersei to win her allegiance the fucking dumbest shit ever?
I mean, I've got written down, what a stupid idea. If they get a white, what will Cersei do?
Murder them all. Murder all of them there.
So you've got
Coup de
Cersei.
grace.
You've got Cersei there, right?
Yeah.
Not only are you going to take the best men you've got
Bingo.
and take on an army of 100,000
Uh-huh.
and try and capture one and get out alive,
Yep.
right? You're also going to, once you've done that, take a zombie to Cersei.
What?
Now, in my eyes, if I'm Cersei, who doesn't give a shit about anyone bar the Lannisters herself,
Bingo.
should probably realise that there's all the main players and a zombie on the floor. And she'll probably not listen to them, just kill them all.
She is not going to believe them at all. Even if it's
What
in front of
she'll
her.
do, she'll go, I'm not helping you, but I'm taking the zombie and I'm going to give it a Qyburn. And I'm going to try and make my own army out of it.
Classic.
Because she's that crazy. Do you know
Simple
what I
as
mean?
that. You know what I think's going to happen?
Such a stupid idea.
She's going to go, yes, I'm with you. I completely agree. Let's fight the White Walkers. And literally just backstab them straight away.
Jesus Christ. It's not going to go well. Moving on.
No, it's not.
Moving on.
Episode 7, here we come.
Jaime and Tyrion meet.
Tyrion. We've missed a little part.
What have we missed?
Is Arya a different person from last episode? Why such aggression between her and Sansa?
We'll talk about this more later on as
in
well.
general points.
Because I think it comes up more in the next episode as well.
It does, aye. We'll reiterate that later. Tyrion's now talking to Jaime like 2 scenes after he was in Dragonstone.
So is that
What?
4?
That's number 4?
That's
teleport.
time machine
just
number 4.
Teleport time machine.
It's Rick and Morty's space
interdimensional
car.
travel. What can you do?
Again, right, okay.
So, are we letting these people off for just writing time jumps left
We're
and
going
right?
to talk about this later.
Okay.
It's a massive talking point.
So I followed that with just so jarring, just them words. It just... There's so much happened in this episode already. This is episode 5 already. What have we got? We've got Jaime survives, makes it back to Cersei,
There was a lot happening.
warns
in
him
this
of the
episode, mate.
fields of fire. Jon's Targaryen lineage is hinted at with his dragons pet and zoo. Bran sends Raven alerting the White Walkers. Jon finds out Bran and Arya are alive. Something I've been waiting for since book 1.
They're just like, oh.
The plan to get the White Walkers made. Arya's squabbling with Sansa. Tyrion meets with Jaime in the same episode.
Right, let's get
right,
into this then.
I can't keep
I
going.
know.
So,
Tyrion meets Jaime. What do you think of that?
again, I love it, right? Because it's something I wanted to see. Tyrion and Jaime meeting. But it just feels so rushed.
Yeah.
I just so daft that all these characters can be in so many places at one time. Why cut the seasons down just to 2 remaining?
Money.
And why not just stretch it out a bit? Like, there's so much
Just
material
money. Just
there.
money, mate. Just money.
Money in what way?
Money in a way that...
Wages of the actors?
Yes, it's a TV
Wages
show.
of the fake dragons?
People forget no matter how popular it is, and it's TV ratings, it's viewings,
Right.
right?
I'd say it's bigger than
They've got the same
films.
budget, mate. They've got a TV show budget.
They've got a film budget.
They have now, as it's got bigger and bigger.
Right.
But that's still not like a blockbuster film budget, you know what I
Is
mean?
it not?
To be fair,
Analytics.
the tarmacked a quarry
Bingo.
and painted it white.
They did do that. I mean, that's commitment.
We'll get on to that though.
So, yep, so that's me 2 pennies on that. Enjoyed the scene.
It was alright.
But it's
I
just
enjoyed
a bit jarring with all the whatting about.
I enjoyed how... Well, did I enjoy Gendry's return?
Next point. Gendry's back. Why did his reveal come so late into the season? Could it not be a nice end of episode reveal of one of the slower first 2 episodes?
Again, I think it's because they don't know what to write for him. Don't know how to write that character.
Not that, just introduce him earlier on. Davos goes and gets him.
He's just chilling at Dragonstone or
And
something.
just have him chill at Dragonstone.
Mining Dragonglass.
Perfect.
With a tick.
Perfect.
Of course.
He's a fucking blacksmith.
He's a blacksmith. He loves
He's
swinging
a
hammers and
lackey.
shit.
He's not a lord. He's a bastard. You know what I mean?
Could have done that.
Bang, bang,
Get us on writing the show, mate.
Nah. Ridiculous.
Anyway, they chose to do it that way. It was a nice little funny moment. Anything with Davos in, I love.
Anything would... That whole scene between...
when it come back, that was probably... I enjoyed that scene more than anything when they came back and the two gold cloaks came down.
That was excellent,
And Davos gives them the fermented crab. And then obviously Tyrion just walks down the stairs and walks past them.
Excellent, aye.
And he can swing that hammer, Gendry.
He can do, just like his dad. Perfect. Ooh, this is an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Lannisters are the underdogs of the story now.
Yes. Yeah, they are.
So, I mean, you've got the Knights King's army, who's top of the pile.
It's took 7 seasons, mate.
You've got Jon and Daenerys.
Yep.
And now we've got the little guys, Lannisters, who are absolutely dead in the water.
But what worries me is
Still dangerous.
in Game of Thrones, when you're dead in the water, some shit happens.
Absolutely. But it's not common for the opposing side in a story, in a narrative, to be the underdog. I quite like that.
I think Cersei's going to pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Oh, big time.
I think she's gonna capture Daenerys
Capture.
in this next episode.
If she captures her, she's dead. Simple as that.
I think she's going to capture Daenerys. But she did say, though, didn't she, in episode 4? This is 5. Yeah, this is 5.
Yes.
She did say in episode 4
What?
that she's willing to band with Daenerys to take her down.
Yes, behind her back.
Behind her back.
Yeah.
She says that's the only way.
Bingo.
She's also pregnant again now.
Ooh, she is. I forgot about that.
That was a reveal. Another reveal.
When someone's pregnant in Game of Thrones, they die.
Or,
Alright?
or they get really hormonal and blow everything up that's under the city with dragon fire or whatever it's called.
That is correct.
Is it dragon fire? Is it called dragon fire?
It's called
The
dragon...
green stuff?
Wildfire?
Wildfire.
Wildfire, boy. Right. So, Gendry's taken. We go to Dragonstone. We're ready to go. Love the line of our fathers knew each other between Jon and Gendry.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny
Yeah.
because Gendry's dad was Robert,
Mm-hmm.
and allegedly, I theorised, Jon's was Rhaegar, as we previously stated in this episode. Robert killed Rhaegar, so that's a great little line just hinting at the lineage.
And also you've got a bit of a throwback of when Ned met Robert.
Yeah, so I've also got Jon and Gendry's little jibes at each other, such as "you're skinny or small," is reminiscent of Rob and Ned when they met at Winterfell in the first episode.
Yeah.
So it's unreal, love stuff like that. Just little callbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Next point, Jon, the rightful king to the throne. So that is in regards to the line between Sam and his lass, which I can't remember the name of.
Beat. I absolutely hated this reveal.
Did you?
Oh, I hated it. Was it a reveal? Or was it just... yes, it was a reveal to the audience. And I just thought it was just so shoddily done.
Shoddily done? Why?
Aye.
Why do you think that?
It's one of the major plot points in Game of Thrones.
Right.
And they chose to do it by her luckily stumbling across a page which had that on.
Right.
And Sam's like, didn't listen. I don't understand what they're doing. They're just planting the seed, but is the seed not being planted already?
The seed's been planted. Seed's been planted, and I'd rather have
Bran
reveal it first,
to the audience and to Jon Snow,
and then you could have Sam find out that way by also corroborating it with that evidence. You know what I mean?
Again, it's a bit stupid. What's the odds of her finding that page?
It is a bit daft. Again, it feels just rushed. A bit
It feels
lazy,
like fan
lazy
service,
writing.
mate.
Not fan service, just something that was necessary in the story.
Lazy writing, mate.
Just a bit lazy, aye. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, if that is true, what it said was Rhaegar, as Gilly said, Rhaegar or something, wasn't it?
Rhaegar or something. Rhaegar.
Had an annulment and then was remarried to Lyanna in Dawn, which makes Jon...
Lyanna wasn't mentioned, it was just he was married in Dawn.
I don't think Rhaegar... Oh no, Rhaegar was obviously we had
mentioned,
the name.
but Lyanna wasn't mentioned.
Lyanna, so it was just a secret marriage in
annulment
Dawn.
in Dawn.
Right. And marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, if we're going along the theory, that Jon is not a bastard between Lyanna and Rhaegar, he'd be Jon Targaryen.
Yeah.
And he'd be successor to the throne, because it's the male heir. So it's Rhaegar's son, which was son of the Mad King.
Right.
So he would beat Daenerys to the throne, because obviously feudal societies, the male beats the female, which is obviously not right, but it's interesting for the story.
Feel about that.
Exactly, it's very interesting.
To be fair, I don't think Jon would want to rule Westeros.
No, not particularly.
He's quite happy in Winterfell, just living the dream.
But that might throw a bit petrol on the fire. You know what I mean?
What else have I got, beat? The Magnificent Seven.
So Sam, little point in between that. Sam wasn't at the Citadel long. Just wrapped up in a season.
I've got written down, beat. Sam's like that mate who never holds down one job.
So is he just washing windows now?
Mate, he just jumps from job to job. He does a hell of a job,
Aye.
but he's not in for the longevity of it.
Right.
Hopefully he is now, as he's got the house sword.
Hot spoon.
Maybe he'll come back in season 8 and be absolutely ripped.
Right.
Maybe he's lost like, I don't know, 10 stone
Yeah.
and ready to go.
And then Tyrion turns up and he's stapled 2 human-sized legs onto his body. And he's become like a 6 foot
And then Yoda turns up.
steroid to the brain. So, Baelish laying seeds.
Baelish, and I've got.
Baelish. So Arya is skulking about, trying to find something happening.
Mm-hmm.
And Baelish shows her the letter which Sansa sent to Robb, which was actually sent by Cersei, telling them to come bend the knee.
knows what he's doing.
So Baelish knows he's
Arya-
being watched.
Is Arya falling into his trap, or does she know? Is it the double bluff, do you think?
It's the double bluff,
Do you think?
100%, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay. And then, Pete, I've got to finish off.
Yes.
I love, even though it's a stupid idea of them going on this mission,
Right.
that little V of when you've got the 7 together and they go into the snow is an awesome end to an episode.
So we
Magnificent 7.
So we get basically the Dirty Dozen.
Yeah.
Minus 5 people.
I was gonna say, Magnificent 7, not the Dirty Dozen, be.
Well, I watched some background material, something like behind the scenes,
Aye.
and they kept on saying Dirty Dozen because I think the film Magnificent 7 was coming out when they were filming this.
Alright.
So they couldn't legally say that.
Alright.
I could be wrong.
Oh, I don't
That
know.
sounds pretty realistic.
know. Yeah.
So it's the Dirty Dozen minus 5.
What I will say is,
For lawful
I
reasons.
watched when it was getting. Mate, I thought this was a stupid idea.
What?
I was like, why would you put your 7 like best fighters into this situation that they're not going to win and they're going to die? And before the episode, I'm like, this is such a stupid idea.
Yes.
But then when I've watched Dan and Dave doing the the preview they do for every episode
Yeah.
on HBO,
Mm-hmm.
they mentioned that wouldn't it be such a cool idea to get these 7 characters finally together what you love and go on an adventure?
That is
And you know what
pretty
it is? I shrugged my shoulders. I thought, stop being a prick. What a good idea.
cool. Absolutely. So I've said 2 things.
It's fan service, but screw it.
Yeah, I've said 2 things on the matter. The formation of the 7 feels rushed, but I
Right.
still enjoy it though. Big question: why is it just a raid of 7 men and not more? There's like 5 tag-alongs,
I know.
but why not bring more? Are you scared of losing men, or is the wildlings not going to follow you into battle? Or
No idea, babe. No idea.
No
But anyway,
idea.
on that note, we will stop there.
uh-huh.
we'll say spoilers if you've only seen episode 5 and you're not episode 6. Stop listening now, because we're going to go into episode 6 discussion straight away, on a roll. Let's rock.
Let's go.
Right, so straight into episode 6. Beat.
Hello.
In this episode, compared to 5, I was kind of like I said in the last episode, why are they doing this? Why are they sending 7 people over, 7 main characters, to die, really, because it's a stupid plan. But then when you, like we mentioned before, earlier in the episode, what Dan and Dave wanted to do this Magnificent 7 thing. They said at the end of the day, how cool would it be to get these characters other side of the wall, on an adventure, you know what I mean? And you've got to take that into account a little bit, rather than batter it because it's a stupid idea. Enjoy the fact that it's happening.
Yes, absolutely, 100% agree. It's difficult because if you look at it from a narrative sense, it writing wise, what 7 of these characters that we've wanted to see get together have gotten together just in one episode. Doesn't make sense,
right?
But
are you giving it the leeway or not?
I'm giving it the leeway.
Give it the leeway it deserves.
That doesn't make it something I've wanted to see happen for like fucking.
Right.
I didn't even know I wanted to see it.
Okay.
I never imagined these characters would come together like that.
All right.
Still pretty incredible. I love it. And look past the shortcomings of bad writing.
What's your opening point?
Great dialogue, which resonates with you, and enjoyed the service we got in answers like Mormont's sword.
That was a good little scene when Mormont was like, "Yeah, it's your sword now, and it's your children's sword as well."
So it's nice to just see them understand.
Longclaw we talked about.
Understand at least the fans want certain questions answering. When you've got that opportunity between Jon and Jorah, you would naturally think you would bring up the question.
Did you think he was going to take the sword back or not?
No, never. I was completely convinced.
What about if Jon is the prince that was promised?
Yeah.
And he actually gets Lightbringer. What happens to that sword?
Well,
that's what's making me think.
It's theorised. Obviously, I don't know the history of that sword. I don't know how important it is, because the Mormons are a pretty small family. It's very mysterious where that sword's come from. It probably is Lightbringer. Who knows?
You think Longclaw's Lightbringer?
Aye. The thing is, there's a big Targaryen mystery of Aegon's sword called Blackfire, which is a hand-and-a-half bastard sword.
Right.
I think. Or it's something along them lines, and that's gone missing. No one knows where that is.
Okay.
And it sounds cool as hell. It's pure black. It's like unreal.
Aye.
Valyrian steel sword, and people theorise that it's Longclaw. Makes sense. Anyway, moving on. Next point. Arya butting heads with Sansa has to be a long con to expose Baelish.
Beat, I've just got written down, why is Arya now a bitch?
I mean, it's because spoilers, 100% and 100% Arya doesn't actually feel that way. And is all of this is a plot to kill Baelish. 100%.
She's very reminiscent of Jack and Hagar, isn't she?
Well, maybe she's like channeling
the faceless, like it's his kind of crack.
Yes. Like very mysterious, very weird, very I'm gonna kill your ass.
Maybe when she became a faceless person, she actually lost herself.
That's what the show wants you to think.
Point, but it's not done very well that way. It just makes it come across as a bitch.
I think it's too quick and too late in the Game of Thrones season and storyline to introduce this little annoying arc between these two characters. It's way too quick. It should be longer. It should be a longer setup. If I'm right, because I don't think Game of Thrones would do that, I think it's a long con. To fool you into thinking Arya actually wants to kill Sansa. In fact, Sansa's being pushed. Sansa's being pushed to Baelish, and Baelish is going to be exposed for the criminal he is.
Is Arya right, Pete? Is Sansa just wanting the throne?
No.
Is power gone to her head? I can kind of see it. I think what she's been through, I think she's always wanted to be queen.
Maybe she's also teaching her a lesson of be careful of what you want. Understand that Jon is the king of the north and where you are.
Okay.
But 100%. Predictions: Baelish is dead next episode. 100%.
Mate, Baelish isn't dead.
Baelish is dead next episode.
Baelish will be on the throne, son.
100% Baelish is dead next episode. It's going to be executed by Ghost.
Okay.
Simple as that. Next point. Dany talks with Tyrion about how bad the plan is.
Whose plan was it? Tyrion's?
I believe so.
Such a stupid plan.
It is a terrible plan. But at the same time, it addresses the fact that it lets us know that the characters know that Jon and Daenerys have something. Because Tyrion mentions a throwaway line like, he's not looking at you just to get back to Winterfell or something like that.
I enjoy when they address Kit Harington's height as well.
That's constant, that, by the way.
Daenerys
He's
says,
getting hammered.
Nah, he's too small for us.
That's excellent. Much
Yeah,
better than...
I've also got written down in my points. Tormund has fucked a bear.
He has? How do you know that?
Must have got mentioned because I wrote it down.
Right, that's weird because, right, basically, the crack is, everybody thinks he's fucked a bear. He gets called, like, the bear fucker.
Right.
He hasn't really, but there's a long-winded story of how he fucked a bear.
Right.
Where he just wrestled with it, I think. So it's like, took out of context, folk's tale.
Oh,
but he
okay.
just ran with it.
Okay.
Alright? When you first introduce the character, you don't know whether he's good or bad.
Yep.
You're told he fucked a bear.
Right.
So you're like, oh, he's a bad guy. But then you're getting to know him, that typical Game of Thrones thing.
Let's go.
Next point, ironically...
So is this where the...
Ice bear!
This is where they're walking towards the peak of the mountain that
Yes.
Bran saw? Oh, sorry, the Hound
The
saw.
Hound saw and the Vision and the Flames. They're walking to...
What did you
It's
think?
probably got a name.
What have you got? What's your point, mate?
Ice bear. Just in, as
What do you
simple as
think
that.
of it?
Unbelievable CGI.
Good.
Actually,
They got that jump scare in there beat as well.
gotta get a jump scare in. If there's an ice bear in a snowstorm, what is happening, by the way? How much are they paying that guy to scout out in front? You know, the one guy who's leading the van, how?
You can't even see him.
Oh, no?
It's goddamn misty as hell.
What about when Jon charges in to find his body? Like, he just runs from the group and finds that spear. He's got some stones.
I know he's already died once, right?
Right.
But he should have died 10 times
I
in
know.
this show.
And he has to know...
Do you know why he hasn't died, Beat?
Why? Plot armor.
Oh, he's got the best plot armor in the show.
But what I do like about that is that sums his character up. Jon's rash. That's his flaw. That's his
every
character
character's
flaw.
got a flaw, and his is he just rushes
He's
full in.
too quick to jump to fights
Yeah.
that he needs to get himself out of these stupid positions.
Do you think he
'Cause
wants? Do you think he wants to die?
That's a possibility. Maybe die and
Do you think he
change them in some
Do you
way.
think he feels embarrassed that he's been brought back to life?
Yeah, he doesn't deserve it. Other people, I don't know, like Ned should be
Yeah.
alive and he shouldn't. Next point.
But yeah, the bear was cool. Enjoyed it. Good CGI.
It was excellent.
And then
Mormon kills it, of course.
Mormon
Or
kills
the bear,
it, of course.
The bear man kills it.
after it's also like
Mold
scratched bloody
forest.
Is it what's he called?
Forest him, yeah. Aye.
Yeah. And then obviously they patch him up with a bloody flaming sword.
Unreal.
that.
Cauterize the
Mate,
wound.
How cool is it with the flaming sword?
Unbelievable.
Is
Is
that
incredible.
magic, or does he like spark it?
So that's magic.
I think he sparks it. I don't think it's average.
That's magic. I mean, later on in the episode, he puts two hands on the hilt, and as soon as his second hand goes on the hilt,
He goes like that beat.
No,
Like,
he does that once.
He runs his left hand up the blade and it
I
like,
know,
sparks
but
it.
maybe that once one. Maybe that's.
I don't know.
Maybe that's.
Anyway, I'm
left
not going to complain
ambiguous.
about it because it's goddamn so cool to watch.
It is, aye. It's like a lightsaber igniting. So, big point here, by the way.
Okay.
Kill the queen, the babies die. Important plot point. So what I'm getting at is, Jon and his goddamn band of merry men spy on some White Walkers, leave a little trap of a campfire, and end up slicing down one of Craster's sons.
And then when that happens, everyone else dies around him.
Yes, so we have,
Except one.
except one,
Which
of
is,
course.
of course, one's left alive.
We now have, it's like down in the archives. There it is in front of us.
You kill the Night's King, you kill them all.
Bingo.
There you go.
That's going to come into play later. But it's nice to have that foreshadowed well before the
Can I
end of
call it
season
now
eight.
on the podcast?
What?
We've got Bran Stark, Worgen, Dragon to kill the Night's King and end the war.
Bingo. But
There
it's
you
not
go.
going to go like that. Because nothing ever does.
No, it's never that easy.
I think all dragons will die before that happens.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Beats they get the white, and then they look in the distance, and there's avalanches coming down. Shit's hit the fan.
Well,
They send Gendry running.
aye, because what happens is the white lets out like a witch scream from Left 4 Dead, alerting all zombies to the location. And they're like, we're dead here. So
Knackered.
just send a raven, Gendry get running.
You've got to
You're
get
the quickest.
You've got to get Daenerys and the dragons in.
Which, is that a good
knackered.
idea? I mean...
I mean, what did they expect to happen?
So they're going to like a cul-de-sac, which is just like a big
And they run through and they come to an ice
dead
lake.
end. It's like a dead end.
So Gendry makes his way back to Eastwatch Beat.
Yes.
Manages to get a raven to Daenerys.
Yeah.
And set the wheels in motion for the dragons turning up.
Yes, in the same episode.
7th mark.
7th mark. We need to get
7th
the map
discussion
out.
point. In the meantime, the lads, the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
Although it's Magnificent, is it Magnificent 8?
6 now because Forrest died.
Wasn't there like 14 that
There was
started off?
14, and one guy dies by an ice bear. 2
Go missing.
go missing, and then another 2. One dies on the rock,
Right, and then
and
another
one falls off the
it.
rock.
So they're on the rock, and ice cracks around it, stopping the whites from getting to them.
Yes, because whites can't walk on or swim through water.
Right,
Apparently,
apparently.
I don't know
There
what
you
the
go.
crack is there.
Magic.
Drown god.
Like they answered everything magic.
Maybe the drown god stops them from doing it. Who
And-
knows?
Beat I've got written down here. It's a trap! That's what I've got written down.
Right, so that's a big point. Just before we get into that, was convinced Tormund was dead.
Ah, yeah.
Great,
So obviously,
great stuff.
we're jumping about a bit here, but they wait there overnight. It goes dark, so it's been the space of a few hours.
Yeah.
And when they wake up, dude's dead. What's he called? Forrest Amaya?
Forrest is frozen.
Frozen, dead. The hound's deciding to throw rocks at the whites.
apparently.
Misshoots one, underhooks one, and the white looks down, realises that it's frozen again,
Yeah.
and cue absolute hell on.
Why would you throw a stone? like what?
He's goddamn skimming, blah, 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 blah.
What a terrible idea.
Skimming stones, Bede. I don't know why.
Unbelievable.
Why is he just for the crack? It's the hound.
Just to make him happy, I guess.
And he gets to say cunt a couple of times,
Of course he does.
because that's the catchphrase.
So all hell lets loose. They've got 40,000 White Walkers just running at them.
Mm-hmm.
And Tormund gets dragged down. And I was like, he's gone.
He's dead.
It was unbelievable directing.
Class.
Shot so well to convince you.
I like how he's so hard and he's this like warrior that will never be beaten,
Yeah.
but he's like screaming.
I
He's
know,
like,
I know.
"Help!"
He's like, help me!
So it's just like you see the human side of him when he's about to die. Really,
That convinces you more because whenever someone dies, they don't die heroically. They die screaming
Yeah.
and gasping for air. Getting back to your point, John, of it's a trap.
Mm-hmm.
Big point this.
So I believe that it's set up by the Night King. He knew exactly what was going to happen.
Right.
The full thing.
So
For one reason, which we'll get on to.
So, to coincide with that belief
Mm-hmm.
that it's a trap set by the Night King to kill.
I don't even think that, mate. I think it's a trap set by the Night King to get a dragon.
To get a dragon.
Yeah.
To get a dragon.
He knew what was going to happen. Why do you think he was all set up with them bloody super spears?
Well, what we see is when they've got the white, the Magnificent Seven have the white captured, one gets set on fire, and the Night King sends that white, because he
Jump on
controls
top of the
them,
other
to
one.
jump on top of it to burn it so it stops the evidence.
So he knows what's happening.
So he knows their plan completely. That's his level of intelligence. Unless I'm reading too much into it, maybe I'm giving this character too much credit. But
Daenerys turns up on the dragons though,
yeah,
and it's such a cool effect. They've nailed that dragon fire, by the way.
it's real.
It's so cool.
What they do is they run like a dolly along a rail, and just have a flamethrower just shoot across the ground,
Absolutely unreal.
and then the CGI it in.
So all hell's breaking loose. There's flames everywhere. Daenerys comes down and plants herself on the rock where the Magnificent Seven are.
Yep.
But what I want to mention as well, the amount of effort that went into making that set, because it's a practical set, you know,
Fully.
practical. If you watch the HBO, which we'll tag in we'll put in the meta tags, so it's worth a watch. This one,
Yeah.
the effort that went into producing this episode is ridiculous. They went Iceland, they went all over the shop.
Yeah.
But the main thing is that ice lake was a quarry that they fully cemented over, put a little rock in the middle, and then sprayed it to look like ice and snow.
Just absolutely.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I think that was in Dublin or somewhere, or
Yeah, it was.
Ireland or somewhere
Well,
like that.
In Ireland, they get them big. It's just a big quarry of a set.
It's mate. How much must that cost? They cemented a bloody quarry over to make a bloody lake.
Priceless, mate. It's priceless when you watch it.
Anyway, I
It's
just wanted
absolutely
that's a
ridiculous.
tidbit there that I wanted to mention because it's just such a cool little thing, and it's brought us back to why I love the show, even though it was going awry a little bit. So Daenerys comes down.
Yeah, I've got the point. Holy shit, 3 dragons.
Yep.
So the only other time we've seen that was when she was burning the Astapor. Was it the ships, slave ships?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the only other time. That's the only other time we've seen 3 dragons together.
Mhm.
But she was trying to save ships, so we never. But that was the only other time we saw it. Obviously, she was trying to save ships, so she didn't have them burn them all. But
these are going wild.
But these are let loose, complete, ultimate power of all 3 dragons.
Again, as well, why I think it was a plan by the Night's King.
Mm-hmm.
They just get these bloody spears and they're like, just lock and load them. He just laces one into a dragon.
They are very powerful, by the way. Like,
They were just ready. They were ready for it.
I would like to see how. I would have liked to seen how much it took to make them spears. I would like to see make them finite.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They should be like, you can only make 5 ever.
Right, yeah.
But he looks like he just conjured them up.
Well, one of the
It was
guys
so
gave him
easy.
one of the guys gave him
I know, but it just looked so easy.
Like,
Like,
any ice, aren't they?
I know, you're right, but I'd like to see if that took like a certain amount of magic or something like that,
To
because you can't just have that dangerous of a weapon manufactured non-stop. Otherwise, they're unstoppable.
Mate, I've got written down, good to see a dragon die, but they were either going to have ice dragons or get one of hers.
Right.
They were always going to have dragons. So the way the show's gone is, they've got one of hers.
Well, I think Daenerys was too powerful with all 3 against him,
Mhm.
so
Definitely, that's
they
what I'm
need to
saying.
even
They
something
needed to
out.
even it up.
Also, we were shown in that Fields of Fire 2, we needed to see, what was a bit of a tell, we need to see the full power, really, of one dragon before we'd see them all. So, we saw Drogon do the damage, we got a kind of display, and then we got one taken away. So, we'll never see them 3 again together, will we?
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, we had to have that.
Am I right in saying it's Viserys as well, the dragon that they've got?
Viserion,
Which
named
was-
after Viserys.
Viserion,
Yeah.
which was obviously Daenerys' dickhead brother
Yes. Who she ends up liking in the end after he kills her.
in the books.
She kills her. Aye, she feels guilty.
Really?
Aye.
Why?
She thinks of all the good things he did. Like,
Like
kept her sheltered.
selling her off to slaves,
He sold
getting
all
her
his...
fucked by a fucking...
he sold all his jewellery and he became the beggar king. That's what he got called.
Did
He kind of sacrificed his own pride and lived like a rat to make sure they're both safe.
Right.
Although he was a complete knob end, but
Yeah.
it's interesting that she brings up all the good things he did for her after he kills her. And also names a dragon after her.
So after obviously they lose the dragon, looks like Jon's dead again, mate.
Yep, so I've got Jon's dead. Just bullet point. He gets hiding into a river. He obviously screaming at Daenerys to drive away
Which they had to. They couldn't.
because they're going to lose another dragon.
Mhm.
Question, John.
Mhm.
Why didn't the Night's King throw the javelin at Drogon
The
rather
bigger-
than Viserion?
the bigger dragon.
Bigger dragon with all your heroes
And
on.
an easier shot.
Yes, because it's perched and not flying.
Again, we'll speak about this.
Okay. Next point. No, he's not dead.
Jon's alive. Woo!
Benjen Stark,
Out of nowhere.
out of nowhere,
Again. Did you like it?
felt rushed. I don't know. I mean, he's
Why did
very
he not help-
convenient.
Why did he not help, like, from the start?
Oh, there we go.
Or why did he not just turn around and go, look at it, lads, this is a horrible idea?
He's a very convenient character to the plot to have.
Could
to
they
throw
not
in
have took
any time.
him? Could they not have took him to Cersei and pretend he was a White Walker?
Ah, he looked pretty
like,
fucked up.
like, just make him go.
Why did
You
they
know what I
paint
mean?
someone up?
That wouldn't lie, but he is a White Walker technically, isn't he?
Ah, he technically is, but he's too human to pretend.
I'm
man,
sure
and
he can act though.
I bet he can.
That would have made more sense.
But they didn't know he was alive.
No, you're right there.
Remember, John.
On a
has been
side note,
yeah,
how do you kill anything with that flaming lantern?
it was just ridiculous. It's like hitting someone with a pillow, isn't it? Like
It's
a
like-
pillow on fire.
It's like ridiculous.
So impractical.
It's ridiculous. It was laying waste to a few of them before he got mauled. but-
Magic, mate, does the damage. Well, finally, what was I going to say? We get John
Mhm.
and Benjen meet after all that time. There's another one. Season 1. Where's Benjen at?
Did they not meet before that?
Nope. Season 1. First
Benjen's
episode.
been in it. Season 3 or 4.
Yeah, but didn't meet John.
Did he not?
Nah, never.
Who was he talking to?
He saved the Reeds and Bran.
Right. Okay. Right. yeah.
Remember? But obviously, John's last thoughts before he died was that they'd found Benjen. Remember, that's how they lure him down to the traitor grave and
Yeah.
stab him. They say, "Oh, we found your uncle."
Oh, Jesus, aye.
And then that's the only time they meet, and then he dies straight after that. So, pretty poetic, but there you go. Not bad. Good to see him again, but he's gone. That's
And then
it.
he's away. He's
Done. Written out the story.
Aye. And then John's away on a horse.
Completely freezing to death.
Don't know the time scales of things, mate. Don't know how long, like, far away they were
Yeah.
from the wall.
Yeah.
But he makes it back. Daenerys is still waiting for him.
Yeah.
Don't know why, like, 'cause he was dead. He's brown bread. Brilliant! He was brown bread, mate.
Why did Dany wait?
Love.
Love. I thought she was just letting her dragons cry a bit out. Like
That's what you said.
That's what I thought when I first watched it. But
Nah,
then,
love.
I couldn't believe she was actually waiting for Jon.
And then that links into when they're back on the boat.
Yes.
Is that the tellings that they're going to go down that line, mate? They're going to get Jon and Daenerys together.
It is telling of that, but I think Dany, personally, I think she'll die before that ever comes to
You think
fruition.
she's going to die, do you?
Yeah, honestly do. I think Drogon will probably go.
No.
You've got to have
So you're-
Rhaegar with
You're
Jon.
thinking Jon Rhaegar versus the Night King and that other.
That's it, aye. That has to happen. Because it's named after his dad.
Mate, I'm worried, like, I'm worried about
The pace.
this next episode. I'm worried for characters.
One,
This
next episode, it's going to be
think
hell.
I think Cersei's going to pull something out of the
Oh,
hat.
but it's 80 minutes long now.
Cersei's going to pull something out of the hat.
80 minutes long, and
Such a
it's
stupid
going to be
idea.
fucking nuts.
She's going to kill someone.
But
She might capture. Nah, she can't. Do you reckon Daenerys will take the dragons?
no. What, Daenerys?
She's going to meet her, Cersei, isn't she?
Yes. Or will she take the
Will
dragons
she take
to
the
that?
dragons with her?
No.
It would make sense.
I don't think she will.
Maybe not after what's happened.
Because Cersei wouldn't talk to her if she had 3 dragons just outside. Why
Right.
would you? You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's not smart. You would only meet if you had no guns at the meeting.
But it cuts back and we see the bloody dragon
Yeah.
getting pulled out the lake
Yeah.
by chains. Where did they get the chains from?
Nobody knows. How did they attach the chain to something that was underwater?
When whites can't go into water?
Nope. Magic.
Magic.
Magic. Or we'll find out next episode or
They've
later on.
got scuba divers whites.
Yeah.
I don't know, mate.
A common thing that occurs is I'll have a question and sometimes it's actually answered later in the
Yeah.
plot. Just like that Jon Snow and the dragon moment. But
Is that all the points wrapped up for episode 6?
yeah, I only had one more, which was the king who knelt. Jon, obviously, he's going to bend the knee to Daenerys.
Isn't that like the most dishonourable thing you can do?
I mean, it just ruins your pride. It's not as much
Will he
pride
still
for
be
Jon.
will he still be king of the north? or not?
No, it's not as much pride for Jon as it is keeping them northern houses together behind him.
well,
Which
what-
he'll lose them if he.
What if he kneels, right? And Sansa refuses to,
She could become like Lady of Winterfell and
Mhm.
just wreck shit up.
and just totally kill the plan.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go down that line. now it's easy, you know what I mean? Mate, I've got written down I is a bitch again. Back end of it. She's bailishing about, isn't she?
She is, but we'll see how that goes.
Well, we'll see
next
how that
episode.
we'll see how that plays out. And then you see the final shot of the blue
Blue dragon,
dragon's eye.
Viserion, mate.
So
Scary times.
So you're thinking that they're gonna kill Daenerys,
Yep.
kill Drogon,
Yep.
and then that'll leave it an even keel.
Yes.
Jon and his dragon Rhaegar
Yeah.
versus the Night King and Viserys.
Mhm.
I mean, there's some shit going down here, babe.
So that wraps up episodes 5 and 6.
But we'll go quickly into your ratings for the episodes, and then what we'll do after that is
Get a map up.
just general talk. We'll just have
Right.
we'll have a bit gossip about Game of Thrones and how we think things are going.
Right. So, ratings for episode 5. I'd probably give.
It was all over the shop.
It was all over the shop,
But
but
I
I
enjoyed
I saw so much.
I enjoyed it. But what did you think? What did you think of this? Did you think 5 was better than 6? No, I'm gonna. We can batter this season because of all the plot holes and things and stuff that's been slack writing a little bit.
Yeah. But it's
we've got to
still
see.
a dragon.
It was epic. Like
It was epic.
it was epic.
It was epic.
Mate, I'll go first. I'm gonna give episode 5 and 8 because I thought it
Yes.
was brilliant.
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to give episode 6 a 9. There you
Oh
go.
my goodness.
I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, mate. I'm going to look past
Start again.
I'm going to look past all the problems, mate,
Yeah.
and give it a 9 out of 10.
Right, so
Because I enjoyed seeing dragons, and I enjoyed the crack between the Magnificent Seven.
very nice. I'm gonna go 7 for the first episode and 8 for the
An 8.
8 for the second.
That's cool. Ratings out of 10, people, as always.
An 8?
Giving it an 8, eh? 8 out of 10?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. But what we'll do now is we'll go into a little bit general discussion about how the season's gone.
Right.
My biggest point that I want to mention
Right.
is I thought this show, right, Game of Thrones,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not battering it here because, like I say, I've just give the episodes an 8 and a 9 for a TV show, which is unheard of.
Right.
But it's such an intelligent show. You've had to wait ages for the reveals. You've had to invest a lot of time into it. You had your slow episodes. You had your fast episodes. It all built up to that episode 8 normally, wasn't it?
Yes. Always 8 or 9.
This season has tore the script up,
Yes.
and it's like reveal after reveal after reveal after reveal.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about it. It's like they haven't wrapped up quickly.
You
And the reason for that is probably because they're paying the actors that much money. They can't afford to keep it going.
Right, so I agree with you. You don't get a chance to take in what has just happened. So I think a good analogy for this is imagine you've got the 7 wonders of the world. Wait, how many wonders of the world are there?
7.
Bingo. What's one of them? Niagara Falls. You've got Niagara Falls, right? It's an incredible sight. It's something you want to see all your life. You're a little travelling boy. So you stand in front of Niagara Falls. Boom, 5 seconds, that's all you got. Now we're at the goddamn Grand Canyon, John. 5 seconds later, boom, Big Ben. I know it's not one of the wonders of the world, but it might as well be. You know what I mean? Do you get me point?
Yes.
You can't comprehend or just let it sit in your stomach for a second. The Gendry is fighting, or is going to fight with Jon. Like, what is happening? But then we realise that Davos is fighting with Gendry and Jon, and the Magnificent Seven's been formed. And
Night's King's got a dragon.
it's just so
But
quick.
eye is like gone crazy.
And it begs
Other things.
it begs the question, right? Why have 2 seasons remaining?
It's just money.
Well, how's it money?
They
you
haven't got the
make?
budget, mate. They haven't got the budget to
So
do
they're
it.
losing money making this. You don't. Businessmen
It's a
don't make stuff.
Right, it's not a film. It's a TV show budget. Now
Right,
there's a massive difference, no matter how big the show is, between a TV show budget and a film budget.
So what's
you know
the
what I mean?
average of the ultimate blockbuster? 170 million.
Dunkirk cost
150.
100 million.
Right, it's 150 is really your average, I'd
Yes.
say.
I don't know how
for
much.
a superhero blockbuster. I'm gonna 2 secs. So I've just been on a website there, and
Yeah.
it's saying that it's around 10 million per episode. That
Right.
was for season 6.
So there's 80 million spent already.
How many
Beats.
episodes were in season 6? 10, weren't there?
Yeah.
So I mean that's 100 million. So that's you're looking at a movie budget there. That's 100 million.
I know.
Per season.
But you've seen the stuff they've got to do now on a 100 million budget.
Could be more though.
It's impossible.
That was for season 6.
Right. Well, we'll go around that because that's a movie. That's a film budget. That 100 million.
Right.
That's a blockbuster film budget.
Right.
They just haven't got the budget. They haven't got the budget to do it. Simple as that's the answer. That's why they're rushing things.
Do you really think that's the reason?
Yes. We have this argument all the time because the people in the suits, they're only bothered about money. They're not bothered about fan service. They want people to have a good time watching a TV show. They want to make money.
Right.
Now, how are they going to make money if the budget's like an extra 50 million? And if you want to make a show like Game of Thrones, that's why they've got let things slide, because they've had to cut corners a little bit, haven't they?
Right. But what if you've got an audience big enough? Surely that will amend all the costs. Or maybe you can't get bigger audience. You're spending more and more money, but the audience doesn't grow enough. I don't know.
There's a lot happened this season quickly. Do you want to get on to the jumping about beat?
Right.
So should we get the map? Pause it beat.
So I'm pausing
We'll come
now.
back when we've got maps up here.
Right. So we found a website, Polygon. I've made a whole catalogue, which we're going to link, of ridiculous travels made by the characters.
Beat, there's an easy solution to this.
Yes.
Magic.
Magic is the answer.
Or a time machine, because it's absolutely ridiculous.
Or a big arm that just swings you.
Also, Gendry, when they send him to run back to bloody Castle Black,
Uh-huh.
in what, the space of like an hour or something, he's back there.
10 minutes or something?
Someone on the internet said it was 60 miles. 60.
He did 60 miles
You're the
an hour.
fastest now. If you're the
He's a cheater.
If you're doing 60 miles per hour, he's a goddamn transforming cheater.
Right, so with Jaime's travel, we don't know how much time has elapsed because Jaime never meets Jon, so we don't know at what time they're at. So they can be at different timelines.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Gendry can it because he is with Jon. He was with Jon. We have a point of reference. He literally has made it back there at a speed of 60 miles per hour, which is annoying because that's breaking rules of physics, of law.
Yeah.
You can't, you know what I mean? You can't run that fast, and it jars you. You can't. It hurts.
How fast would you run, Beat, if there was an army full of 100,000 zombies chasing you?
I'd go 5 miles per hour. Literally would.
Alright, fair enough.
I've got bad knees, mate. Other little instances is Jorah from the Citadel.
Yeah.
That's right in the west.
Yes.
At least he was given us a season, but he made.
He's given a season to cure dragon scale after 5 seasons of getting it.
I think that's a
Sorry,
similar.
not 2.
Jorah has a similar amount of time to travel compared to Jaime with the King's Landing, and he did it in an episode later where it was 2 scenes for Jaime. That is just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Brandon sending ravens is nuts.
There's a lot of things that they're just thrown in here, and like I said, Beat,
The distance between
in my eyes, it's turned from an intelligent show into a less intelligent one.
it has bent time and land around itself before,
But not to this extent
but
of this season.
not scene after scene. You know what I mean? It's done it previously.
It's gone so fast.
Like Sam's travel down to the Citadel was done correctly, I think.
Right.
Not a bad amount of time spent there. But Jon has been all over the shop,
Yeah.
and it gets a little annoying. But it's not in one episode. 7 things happened here in 2 episodes of instances where time doesn't add up.
Other than the time, is there any other points that have annoyed you, Beat, about this season or not?
Only biggest gripe I have is just hitting me with a big reveal every 10 seconds.
Yeah, I will say.
I think personally, the story of Jon's lineage, such as touching the dragon, Gilly revealing that piece of information, possibly something that happens later next season or episode, is enough for one season itself. Never mind. Oh, sorry, the Field of Fire. That Field of Fire Part 2. Dany's attack on Jaime's forces was an episode 8 ender.
We can't complain though, can we?
We can't complain. We're getting more
Because
of
we're
that
getting
stuff.
more of that stuff.
But I'd rather see more Game of Thrones. Can we not have 12 seasons? Because I feel that would be the sufficient amount of time to wrap up every line that George R. R. Martin has cast out for these characters.
I'm going to throw one out there, right, Beat?
Uh-huh.
George R. R. Martin, right?
Uh-huh.
The show caught up with the books.
Right.
So now Dan and Dave are on their own.
Yeah. Right.
George R. R. Martin left the last book in a clusterfuck, really. There was a load, like, you try and work that last book out. You're still reading it, I think, at the minute, aren't you?
I'm not in the last book. I'm on to Feast for Crows, I believe.
Right. So, Beat, like, the last book came out in 2011, so that's like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Some people think that he doesn't even know where the story's going himself.
Daft. I don't believe that.
Don't believe that.
No.
Some people think that. The final say is they've caught up to the books.
Right.
So Dan and Dave aren't following the books anymore. They're having to come up with their own stuff. And I think they're struggling with it a little bit. Do you think it's fair to say that or not?
I don't. I think Dan and Dave have vague bullet points which George R. R. Martin has spoken to him about.
Right.
I don't know if that's contractually set down, but I believe Dan and Dave know main points past George R. R. Martin's books. He's given them a little insider, and they have to work with them one words. I don't know. Jon does this here. Simple as that. and then they work with that information. Very
Right.
small, 3 words. John
Okay.
does this here. I think that's what they've got to work with. That's still not a bookload of information,
No.
though, which
Yeah,
is
we'll
difficult.
we'll see how it turns out. But you didn't look past the silliness because you're getting goddamn ice dragons.
You are.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that kind of wraps up the discussion bit, really.
It does,
We'll fly straight into some fun questions to end. Beat, we've got the first question from @ScottyBoy,
Yeah.
regular member of Crass.
What a legend.
Listen to the podcast. He says, Jon Snow, talk us through his full parent story, please.
Right.
We've
so
already done that. We
we've-
move on. So, yep, Scott, start the show, give it a listen. That'll give you the answer.
Bingo.
Guess who's back? As versus the world
What a
on
legend.
Twitter.
Stayed with us for all this time.
As says, did anyone think there would be a zombie direwolf yet? And I think Bran can possess zombie animals as well as living ones.
What?
That's what Az reckons.
Really? Well, I like that idea a lot. I was thinking to myself, what if Bran walks into the ice dragon? But I got the sense that, you know how he had them ravens controlled, and the Night King looked at the ravens and then just blew up like
Yeah.
hit a wall. I feel that's the same way. I think the Night King's magic's too powerful.
Right, okay.
Unless Bran is the Night King. What?
What?
People theorise that, but I do not believe that at all. I think that's too much, because he may as well just be every character in the whole season.
Yeah.
So I don't like that idea. But anyway, I like the idea of him controlling an ice dragon.
Beat, I've got a fun question for you.
Thank you.
Where's Ghost?
That's a great question. So, he's the real reason. Money. The second
So obviously
reason.
Jon's direwolf, which we haven't seen all season.
Huge player in the game. 2 reasons. First is the real reason. As I said before, it's money. They'd rather put money into dragons, because they're really the focus of the season, as you can tell. They've been used like so much.
You can actually do a close up of a wolf. Though.
1 wolf. I know. 2, what I want to happen is they're keeping him for a big reveal. So Baelish will probably attack Arya in some way after finding out they've been deceived, and she'll go and Ghost. It's poetic. Jon's dog. Arya's had a good relationship with Jon all this time.
Yeah.
It rips Baelish's face off.
Right, okay.
Because Baelish attacked Ned in the first season. It all comes back to haunt you. Bing, bang, boom. Let's hope that happens. It's not going to, because the real reason is money.
Okay.
There's the question answered.
Beat, also, we've got another question from Scott, which I've just noticed here.
Mm-hmm.
What will Viserion breathe? Fire or ice?
Ooh!
So, also, big question.
Yeah.
With the final episode coming up, how do you rate the season so far?
Oh!
Right, so we'll go. First question, what do you think is going to happen with this ice dragon?
Well, it's the first question that popped in my head as soon as I saw them last few
I would
scenes
say
of the
black
episode.
fire. Like Balerion the Black Dread.
Well, did Balerion fire black fire out of its mouth?
Yeah, black fire eye.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible. So the first thing I thought, as soon as that blue eye came and popped up and gave us a wink on the
Blue
screen,
fire? It'll be blue fire, won't it?
right? I wanted to say fire, but you can't have something made of ice, power, magic. You can't have an ice creature, an ice dragon, breathe fire, because fire is the enemy of the Night's King.
So you think it's going to be ice?
Yes.
That's
And
good.
how can you miss the opportunity to just have people
Just frozen.
frozen in place after they've been decimated by a whole
That's
gust
cool.
of ice?
That's pretty cool.
So you've got to see that image. It's ice for me personally, Scotty boy.
And we've kind of went over it on the general discussion, but
Yeah.
what do you think the season so far been?
Season so far, I've got big problems with it.
Mhm.
People don't like the writing or the time jumping, but personally, I can look past them, and it is.
It's been the most action-packed season, if that's what you like.
Yes, it is incredible to look at, but the problem I have is it's much more magic focused. Like, it's got dragons and shit, and I sometimes enjoy the little kind of war and factions of medieval kind of deceit and stuff like that shite.
Beat maybe.
Season 3 is my favourite if people don't know.
Beat maybe it's gone down those lines and it's a bit more like filmy, a bit more fan servicey, because there's a lot more magic in this season and a lot more of the dragons in this season.
Yeah, yeah.
Before, in previous seasons, it was pretty
Let's have a budget.
normal fights between people.
Yes.
But anyway, that's
Sometimes
the
more interesting than a big dragon.
But we'll see.
But
I enjoy it. I think it's been a great season.
Yeah.
But you can pick it apart,
you can do.
which I've not been able to do in previous Game of Thrones seasons.
Yeah. Other than Battle of the Bastards were a bit of a mess.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I love the Battle of the Bastards.
Why doesn't the giant go into battle with a big log tree?
I'll tell you why, B. Magic.
Magic.
Moving on, that's all the fan questions, B. So then, people, that brings up our bonus 2-for-1 episode of Game of Thrones.
It's a long one.
It's a big one. What we're going to be doing now is going back to films.
Ooh,
We had a poll earlier in the week, and Back to the Future won that one.
Excellent.
So we're going to do Back to the Future this weekend and get that up for you. Other than that, looking forward also to the final episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Predictions, Ben?
Predictions, Baelish, 100% dead. I've said it the past 4 episodes that he's going to die in the next episode.
Yep.
He has to die sometime. I think it's going to bite him in the arse.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dany is dead.
Ooh.
No. She can't. Right, what's the big reveal of the last episode of this season? Rhaegar, in the flesh, one shot, for me.
Do you reckon?
Yep, there you go.
Do you reckon they're going to go down the line?
I think they're going to get Lyanna back, the actress who played her, out the Tower of Joy episode, and we're going to see Lyanna and Rhaegar together.
at the tourney at
In
Harrenhal.
flesh, yes.
We'll see.
We'll see. That's the big prediction. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
All
You
right.
think the brand flashback?
Maybe not even that. Maybe just reading a book or something.
Beat, I'm going to say they're all dead.
Right. Bold
The-
statement.
It's just a joke. They haven't even got a season 8.
Yep.
The Night King's coming over on the dragon, bringing everyone else in. They're all dead.
Carpet bomb, frozen.
Fade to black. Absolute ashed, frozen Iron Throne that we've seen previously.
Yep.
Right, follow us on Twitter at Talking Crass. SoundCloud, we're on Talking Crass. iTunes, Talking Crass. Drop us that 5-star review.
Tasty.
Pot pie. No, it's hot pie. No, pot pie.
Jesus Christ. Right. Goodbye, everyone.
You just ended there, mate.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Bye-bye.